Last month, I got invited to the Square Enix offices to have hands-on with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and in today's video, I get to share that preview with you, so I'm hoping you can join me in this one. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got your call to timestamp, so if you want to skip to a certain section of the video, feel free to do so. All I ask is you to support the channel and hit the like button, it helps out a lot, and if you want to stick around for some more Dragon Quest content, you're already in the right place. Just hit that subscribe button. So you're probably asking yourself, Jen, what did you get to play in this preview? But before I talk about that, not only did I get to play Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, but I also got to meet the producer of the game, Takeshi Ichikawa, which was absolutely incredible. I'm so thankful for the opportunity, and it made that experience just that much greater. So the things that I got to play in Dragon Quest VII were two sections. We got about an hour and a half to about an hour and 45 minutes. And the sections we got to play was the Emberdale section, going through the Vermont, and then fighting the Glowing Inferno. And then we had another section where we went to Wetlock, traversed through the dungeon of the High and Dry Tower, and then eventually go against Grakos. So the footage you'll be seeing will be based on these sections. Though I only got to play these two sections, I have so many notes to go over, but there are things that I can't go over. So if you want to ask questions, ask them down below, but if I can't answer them, you will know why. So let's get stuck in. And I want to start off with the look of the game. Now, there's been conflicting opinions on this doll-like diorama aesthetic that Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is going for. I have been a fan. I think it captures the original artwork so well, and the fact that the main characters are all dolls that have been scanned into the game and the rest of the game has been designed to match that, having it in front of me and playing it, it did it really well, and it seemed pretty seamless and looked amazing. From the cutscenes, which look incredible by the way, to the menus, to the towns, dungeons, and the world map, I'm very happy with how Dragon Quest VII Reimagined looks. Before we get stuck into the gameplay, let me touch on some quality of life features that you can expect in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and I want to start off with the difficulty. In Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake, they went into the difficulty settings and allowed them to be a little bit more customizable. Well, I'd like to tell you that in Dragon Quest VII, they go even further by giving you more bells and whistles to tinker with. Now, there's 3 difficulty settings, and these are named easygoing for the easy mode, happy medium for the go-to difficulty, and then tough going for the hard difficulty. But what you can do is you can design your own difficulty. You can change the toggle for the amount of damage that you and the party deal. You can customize how much EXP you get, whether it's less, more, or the normal amount. The same goes for the money you'll get at the end of battles, as well as the proficiency you earn for your vocation. And then it goes even further by customizing the monster attack behavior, and if you want to restore your HP after battles, after leveling up, or just not at all. So there's a lot of things for people to mess around with here to cater to your own experience. I know that a big complaint about the Draconian mode in Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake is the fact that even though the game is harder, the EXP gain is just too slow along with the gold. This aims to fix it, so for those that are wanting to go for that hard mode can go through that quite smoothly when it comes to those gains. A few other things, of course, we have the 3 battle speeds. We can also favorite spells, so spells that we do favorite and skills will be at the top of the list when selecting them in battle. You have the ability to view the party status and the enemy status in battle, just so you know what status elements may be in effect. You have the option to zoom anywhere that you've encountered throughout the game so far. Chests are also displayed on the map for convenience, though I didn't see a toggle to turn this off, and also weaknesses is displayed with a thumbs up or a thumbs down when it comes to elemental or species type damage, and again I did not see any options to turn this on or off. Okay, it's time to dive into the gameplay and let's talk about exploration. And the thing I want to talk about first is camera control. Essentially what you can do is when you're on the world map, it is a static camera angle. It's much akin to what Dragon Quest IV, V, and VI were on the DS. And this translates through to dungeons and towns. In dungeons, you can tilt the camera ever so slightly, but you can't do a full 360. But in towns, you can rotate the camera in a full 360 angle to look at the town any angle you like. But exploration, as you would always know in Dragon Quest, is you have your pots, your barrels, your secret spots, there's mini medals to collect, there's NPCs to speak to. It's all intact here in Dragon Quest VII. And another thing that you can do during exploration, it's party chat. Pressing circle, because we played on the PlayStation 5 here, you can talk to various members of your party and they will give you general directions or quirky reactions to what may have just occurred in the story, or maybe there was an NPC you've just spoken to. They give you a bit of a layer and a bit more of a direction of where to go. Though it isn't a separate screen like it was in Dragon Quest XI, it's nice to see that party chat returns here to give you that additional interaction with the members that you may have with you. Another thing that I thought was quite unique during exploration, especially in dungeons, is the fact that you come across the statues in pivotal points where you're probably going to be fighting a boss battle, and these statues conveniently fill up your HP and MP. So maybe this is a great spot to go back, do a bit of grinding, replenish your health and MP without using items all the time and getting those extra levels before that boss battle. I found it quite handy. Apart from that, you are getting what you would expect when exploring a Dragon Quest game. But the world map and dungeons is where it changes ever so slightly. You can see enemies on the map, much like Dragon Quest XI, and you can engage with those by a sword strike to get a first attack. Of course, there's sparkly spots located on the world map as well. And there's also menacing monsters that you can find dotted around the world map, but we'll go into that when we talk about the combat. And before we go into combat, I just want to touch on like general story and cutscenes. Of course, I'm not going to go into any details, but these cutscenes are voice acted. The voice actors do a phenomenal job. Each location has an accent as well, so it's really nice to kind of keep up with those dialects. Also, these cutscenes just look really nice, accompanied with the music and the voice acting. Heck, there was even an NPC that I came across that said the iconic line from Dragon Quest VIII. God, blimey! So I knew I was in for a good time. Before we enter combat, allow me to talk about vocations. We know that vocations are a little bit different in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, as we have the moonlighting system, which allows us to equip 2 vocations. In total, there are 21 vocations, that 21st vocation being a unique vocation for each character that you have in your party, of which is unique to them. The great thing about vocations in this game is that you can summon the NPC to allow you to change vocations at any time, including in dungeons. So if you're wanting to switch up that strategy on the fly, you can do that here in Dragon Quest VII. Not only that, they bring various benefits to the character and of course their special attacks in battle. Last thing to note about vocations is costumes. I know that in other versions of Dragon Quest VII, when you change to another vocation, your costume also changes to reflect the vocation. Now, I could not see any option, nor did I see that this is a thing in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I believe the only costumes you can change into are ones relating to the DLC. Now, I know this might be a disappointment to some people, but for me, it doesn't take away from the game whatsoever. There's also the monster hearts. The way that they work here in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is that they are accessories and they can give you various stat buffs. And here's a few examples. So if you have the slime monster heart, your dodge chance goes up if you have it equipped. If you have the lips monster heart, your charm and attack increases at the beginning of battle. The Meowgician monster heart gives you a critical spell chance of 10%. The Golem monster heart gives you a surviving killing blow. So if you are taking damage that is more than your current HP, you will always remain on 1 HP just that one time. And then there's the Heal Slime monster heart, which allows you to restore 10 HP at the start of each turn. So there's a lot of range there. That's just a small selection. And you're probably thinking, Jen, how do I get these monster hearts? Well, you can find them throughout the game, but the main method of getting the good ones is going against the menacing monsters that I touched on when talking about the world map. You will go into these battles. Of course, these menacing monsters are just that little bit tougher, but if you can beat them, you will get rewarded with their monster heart. And of course, you equipping that as an accessory will give you a significant boost, depending on if it is a statistic that you want to increase or an ability that you want to activate at the beginning of each turn. Okay, now we are going to be talking about combat. Like I said, to enter combat, you can just walk into an enemy, or you can just strike them like you can do in Dragon Quest XI to give yourself the advantage. Though random counters do occur while you are traversing the world map on the ship. Everything else you can see on the map, whether that is the world map or the dungeon that you may be in. Turns in battle also work a lot like Dragon Quest XI as well, not like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. So essentially when you pick your turn, your character will be doing the turn straight off the bat. So that's something definitely to bear in mind. Also, when it comes to items, each character doesn't have its own individual item bag. Items are shared, so there's no need for you to micromanage items for each character. If you are wanting to take some medicinal herbs or some elven elixirs along with you for the ride, you can access everything whenever you want in battle. The tactics system returns here in Dragon Quest VII, where you can do all of the usual, from fight wisely to using items to using magic or using no MP. All of that is customizable as well for those battles that you just want to dive into. For the battles that you don't really want to dive into, if you're at a significant level and you strike an enemy that's much weaker than you, you will instantly defeat that enemy and gain all of the XP, proficiency points, and money without even having to lift a finger. Now, the unique thing we talked about is moonlighting. So when we get to a certain point in battle, it works very much like the pep attacks in Dragon Quest XI or the special attacks in Dragon Quest VIII. And this is where you get to use the unique abilities of your vocation. And if you have 2 vocations equipped, you have a choice of 2. So it's very nice to mix and match, to have a range of skills that might benefit you in battle. Some of these abilities range quite a bit, and here are a couple of examples. For the warrior, you have the Art of Chivalry. This provides cover to the character with the lowest HP and also counter attacks. The mage has Mage's Rage, which will turn spells critical for a couple of turns. The thief has Repeat Offender, which allows another action when inflicting a status element. The jester has Play the Fool. Basically, you mess around and dodge attacks and provoke enemies, which is a very nice attack to do on a character you may have with a little bit more defense. So again, there is quite a range here. It's going to be very exciting to mix and match these vocations and see what results we come up with in battle. Also, as we've seen in trailers with the Kiefer reveal and just in general, we do have guest characters that accompany us in battle, whether that's them attacking or giving us buffs. In the preview I got to play specifically, when we were doing the High and Dry Tower, we had the Old Man Riffer with us, so we were getting buffs from the songs he was playing in battle. There's so much more I have written down here, but we were not allowed to specifically talk about anything in the info menu, so I can't tell you the amount of fragments, I can't tell you how many items there are, or the monsters, or everything else in between in that menu, but expect a good time. There seems to be a lot of content here from looking through these menus, so don't worry about places being cut or streamlined for this specific version of Dragon Quest VII. Honestly, after playing it, as soon as the session had ended, I just wanted to play more, and I am even more excited to dive in when February 5th comes around. Like I said, if there is any questions you want to ask, let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer it. But be ready for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, because it's going to be a good time. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to leave a like so it gets out there to other people so they can get excited for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.